we saw the need really around those kinship families, biological families, the ones who don't have paperwork. We do not require that. I've always said we trust in the Lord. We trust in the Lord. He knows who needs us and who doesn't.
Welcome to the Riverside Project podcast. We are mobilizing Houston to empower families and transform generations. We hope these conversations will give you a greater understanding of the issues facing our community and inspire you to find your place along the river.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Riverside Project podcast. My name is Chandler James. Today on the podcast, we have Lisa Johnson. Lisa is the founder and executive director of Entrusted Houston. She began her fostering journey in 2009 and is a proud mom to 7 children, 4 of whom were adopted through foster care. Lisa has been part of Entrusted Houston since its earliest days when it was just a church ministry over 15 years ago, and has now led that into a really growing nonprofit organization, which started in 2018, dedicated to supporting families and children impacted by the child welfare system. Lisa, glad to have you on the podcast.
Hello, Chandler.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, well, let's kind of start how we always start. So tell me a little bit about who you are, your background, just a little bit about you, your family, things like that.
Well, you said the biggest thing, mom of 7 kids. I feel like that's it.
That's a lot.
I feel like that's it. But I'm, yes, the founder and director for Entrusted. That's my life right now. And strong cheer mom. How about that?
Yeah.
But in my earlier days, before all this has taken over my life, I was a waitress, worked for a bank, customer service.
There you go.
And I worked in preschool.
Okay.
So I think all that kind of goes into moving into this customer service, taking care of families, working with kids. That is who I am.
Yeah. Well, obviously, like you and I have been friends for, 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
And so I know a lot about Entrusted, you, your family, and your background. But tell me a little bit about go back to the beginning of where it really started in terms of you gaining a passion for foster care, what that looked like, things like that. I even saw you post, on Instagram last week or 2 weeks ago. You were doing respite for a family, right?
Yep.
And you posted kind of a photo of you holding a kiddo and was like, this is where it started, So talk to me kind of thought processes on that, kind of where it all started.
Where it all started. Well, I guess it even way before then, Chandler, because it started back when I was adopted.
Yeah. Wow.
Adoption's been on my heart forever. My biological dad passed away when I was 9, so my stepdad adopted us. I don't remember the first time I heard CPS. I don't know. I just know that in my high school little memory book, I wrote that I would work for CPS in 5 years. That's kind of funny. Not quite working for them, but with them, very much so right now. But whenever I got married, we said we were going to have 4 kids. We were only able to have 3. So whenever somebody told me about this great program called Congregations Helping in Love and Dedication, years ago, we went to a meeting on it, and I kind of jumped in with both feet while first my husband was like, whoa, hold on. But I just prayed about it a lot. And then next thing you know, he filled out that form and we started foster care.
Wow.
So yeah, it started with that first placement. Yeah. And then of course he was all in. We had 2 boys. That was the last time we ever got boys. Yeah. It was only girls from there on out.
So how many kids have you had go through your home? And then back then you were getting licensed through CPS, we'll probably talk about in a little bit. But
we had 12 kids that we had through our home.
Yeah.
We adopted 4. Like I said, only the first 2 were boys. The rest of them were all girls.
Yeah.
So fun. But that's kind of where this started. It was, I remember when one of our placements was a set of twins. And I put a cry out it was to my church, my community, that we needed items for twins. It's a completely different thing than bringing 1 kid in. You need 2 swings, 2 bouncers, whatever you could do. And the very next day, I had an entire dining room full of everything that we needed and more. And I remember when the caseworker brought the girls over, they were like, where did all this come from? And I'm like, my community.
Your people.
My people.
Yeah.
they brought it. And that's the idea of Entrusted, that meeting those needs for families.
Yeah. So tell me about Entrusted. I mean, how did that start? Like, you just are like, hey, I've got all the, like, I've seen this work for myself. Like, I want to do that for other people. Is like, where did that start?
That is kind of where it started. I saw it work for me, and then I wanted to be able to pass that on to other families that I knew fostering. So we started off, like you said, as a small church ministry. We just collected items from church members, from my neighborhood. We lived in a really great neighborhood at the time as well. And it was in my house mostly.
Yeah.
Then I think we got a little closet at the church to be able to hold things. And of course, it just grew and grew. I think it blew up after Harvey.
Yeah.
Harvey exploded it, and the church gave us a very large warehouse space that we were able to collect items, and it was a hot mess. And we
I was going to say, for context, for people who aren't super familiar with you or Entrusted Houston, like, I've seen photos of, and I don't even know if this was the original spot that you were in at that church, but it's like a little, I mean, let's call it what it is. It's like a little shed. It's like a 2-story shed.
Yeah, that was the very first one. The upper level of the shed. It was just the top, not the whole shed, just the top of the shed. You had to bend your head. I'm only 5'3", and I had to bend my head. So that's where we started off, with maybe one bin of clothes for infant girls or toddler girls, where you see what we have now. I mean, I can't even keep up with what we went to. But then that was even pre-Harvey. It was after Harvey where we got the big, huge, because people were sending stuff to Houston. Yeah. And we were operating out of garbage bags, out of, just finding needs for people back then. Yeah. And then if you see us now.
I mean, it's a shocking difference. I want to, like, in the show notes and even maybe on the YouTube video after it's out, it's show people kind of the photo, because it is a shocking difference. So you guys moved to this ginormous warehouse. Talk about what you guys do and like how that's like impacted your work and things like that. Talk about, just what you guys do, who you serve, all those types of things.
We serve. Well, we started off for foster families, like I said, whenever we were fostering. But we have grown into most of the families that we serve are directly through the caseworkers. They're biological kinship families. We still serve foster and adoptive families. That actually just ends up being the least amount of people that come to our resource center. The caseworkers are the ones who we see on a daily basis. They're picking up things like clothing, shoes, diapers, wipes, car seats, pack and plays, cribs, basic needs, toilet paper sometimes. I like to tell people, that is a significant difference between some of the other resources out there that I used to use, closets where you could go in and there's a lot of conveniences and help that we can get. But what we're serving is, like, we need toilet paper, we need cleaning supplies, we need all of those really, really, truly basic needs. Yeah.
For those who maybe aren't as familiar with the child welfare space, or even if they are maybe more familiar with like, kind of like what you said, is serving foster parents, those who are doing the work of taking children into their homes. Talk to me about how what you guys are doing is like uniquely different, and why that's really important. So things like serving relative caregivers or kinship families, serving biological families who, have had an investigation open on them. Like, talk to me about, because you're not, I would assume you wouldn't classify yourselves as a foster closet, and there's a place for that, and it's really good. But you guys are uniquely positioned a little differently. So talk to me about what is that difference, and why for you that feels like so critically important to the vision and mission of Entrusted.
There's a lot of great foster closets out there. Like I said, I used to utilize them. But what we saw the need was really around those kinship families, biological families, the ones who don't have paperwork, really. That's what it comes down to. Like, a lot of resources, you have to fill out the paperwork. You have to bring paperwork. You have to...
For people who don't know what you mean when you say
paperwork, anything coming from DFPS.
Something that's showing like you officially...
showing you're official.
Have this kid,
You officially have this kid and are placed with this kid. We do not require that. I've always said we trust in the Lord. We trust in the Lord. He knows who needs us and who doesn't, and He's going to bring... not only do we serve these kinship bio families, but it's grown into some single parent families, trafficking victims, refugees.
Yeah.
We even serve veterans now because we've had some caseworkers from CPS that have transitioned out of child welfare into assisting veterans, and they'll come see us, which we love because we do have adult clothing and items for them as well.
Yeah. No, I love it. Talk to me about kind of, I think there's 3, right? And I should know this because I'm on the board, but the three aspects of what Entrusted does, it's welcoming, resourcing. Talk to me about those things.
Welcoming, you're going to test me
I am
because now
testing
I don't
you.
always that is specific to our bunkhouse. That's another
So
thing
about
that's
that.
very specific to Entrusted. We and I say that, but it did grow from a friend of mine who had an equal thing, which was oh my gosh, Oasis Shelter. Yeah, Oasis. We have the bunkhouse, which houses children that are without placement. So when kids come into care, if they don't have a placement to send them immediately, they can come to the bunkhouse and stay there, and the caseworkers supervise them there. It is instead, it replaces staying in a hotel, which is just not the place for a child or anybody.
Right.
Primarily, we have teenagers, and it's supposed to be a very temporary, short-term thing. They try everything that they can do.
Yeah.
Believe me, we've had, I think our longest stay was 100 days with a child that was a little bit more difficult to place. And then our shortest could be a couple hours. Our youngest child that's ever stayed was very recent, was 5 months.
Wow.
5 months old.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we go up to 17, the teenagers.
Yeah.
The youngest one was a sibling group that came in super late at night, and they didn't want them in an office or in a hotel. So the bunkhouse is a cabin, like it's a home-like environment. So very comfortable, and we'd much rather have. It was 3 young children. It was a really great opportunity to have a place for them to feel comfortable and not.
Yeah. Well, and I love that too, because the demographic that you're serving through the bunkhouse specifically is what we would probably call it's just often an overlooked demographic in the child welfare space, right? I think when we think about child welfare, foster care system, things like that, we often think about what we know, right? Which is often I know somebody that is a foster parent.
A foster parent,
right?
Adoptive parent.
Yeah, an adoptive parent.
You know that people get, the biological families that are getting the children removed.
Yeah.
The other side of that.
But it's a unique demographic when we talk about kids that are extremely, extremely hard to place.
Yes.
And I love what you guys are doing there, because it is this idea, it is what you guys say it is. It is a welcoming environment. It is a warm, place to sleep. You guys have snacks in there. I've been in there, and it doesn't feel cold. It's very warm, right? There's things on the walls. There's
deer
TV.
outside sometimes.
Yeah, there's deer outside.
You could walk outside and there's a deer.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. And I think what I really love about what you guys do at Entrusted is not just with the bunkhouse, but with workers and families and people that come through Entrusted. They know Lisa Johnson and her team will be there to welcome me and resource me and care for me well. And so I love that.
The idea.
But
the resourcing obviously is our resource center.
Yeah.
That's where we provide all the needs. We also have a furniture program that we do through there where that's something unique, that we deliver furniture all across Harris County, which is very large.
Yep.
When I said that, I didn't realize it, honestly. But we deliver twin beds, sofas, dressers, and dining sets.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 items that we focus on.
Okay.
So if it fits in there, we can deliver it as long as those requests come from the caseworkers, which kind of also helps. We're not having to vet through anybody. It's already been vetted through CPS and through the supervisors, that they know what is needed for those families. And then they'll put the requests in for us.
Yeah.
And then, of course, appreciating. I think that was the last one.
Yep.
I don't know.
The work with caseworkers.
That is my most favorite one, honestly, for me.
Yeah.
And it came from back when I was fostering. I used to talk to every single caseworker that came out and ask them, what is it that you get that shows appreciation to you? What's done for you? And I think we had just had a church big volunteer appreciation event. I volunteered all the time in the baby room, maybe an hour every week or once a month. Some people did. And we got this big, huge party with a great dinner and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, all I did was watch a baby and cuddle a baby.
Yeah.
These workers are working 60 to 80-hour weeks. All the things that the people don't see, the concern. I had a caseworker, that's what it came from, one of our children. The caseworker sat outside the home just for her because she had so much concern waiting for orders to be able to remove her. And she was definitely in a dangerous place.
Yeah.
So people don't see that.
Yeah.
What the caseworkers are, doing for the families, doing for the children.
For sure.
So I wrote down in a Bible that I wanted to have a caseworker appreciation event.
Yeah.
5 years later, we had our first event. And that was, 2016?
Yeah.
I think 2016. So
you're not saying it, but like, what's the size of those? Just to give people an idea. Because when you first told me, I was like, that's crazy.
Well, it started off, the first one it was like 75 people. Because they get invited sometimes to a lot of random things.
Sure.
And they work so many hours, taking additional time away from their family is super hard. It's a lot to ask. We had to be creative on the day that we had the event because they're always doing removals and they're driving across Houston all the time. And so we used to do it on a Sunday evening, and taking away that evening from their family and everything, I know that's hard. So it started off slow. But once they heard, in the first 3 years, it grew to like 350 people. Most recently, we changed the idea a little bit, and we started having a big food truck party at a park. Precinct 4 has been wonderful, giving us park space.
Yeah.
And we have a DJ, giveaways, field games, tug of war is like the favorite. Last year we had a dodgeball and they loved that. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
But we had over 650 staff and employees, supervisors from CPS.
Yeah.
All of Region 6.
Yeah. I want to hang out here for like just a second because I do think there is like, and I'll let you speak to this, but like a really big presupposition when we talk about how people feel about caseworkers, how people feel about the system that we exist in, right? We don't get to choose it, but we do exist in it and we operate in it.
Right.
But talk to me about what you've seen over the years of like, kind of, I guess, debunk it for me a little bit. Of like,
easily.
There is a degree of like, some of the presuppositions can be accurate, right? Oh. But at the same time, we can hold both where it's like, there is like a significant portion there that like, I think, just talk to me about that.
In every job. Yeah. Name a job, name a company, a business, a church, a denomination that doesn't have some people that are doing bad things in it. Like everywhere there is. And yes, definitely, we've as a foster family, we had caseworkers that weren't necessarily the best all the time.
Sure.
However, we see them every day. They're in there every day.
Yeah.
I see the love and care and concern. And we're not just talking about for the children. We're talking about for the families.
Yeah.
They're coming and driving hours and hours, taking basic needs to these families, doing everything that they can. I mean, even for, even for me as a family, like the resources that I can reach out and get are difficult sometimes. If you're talking about therapies or anything like that for children, imagine a biological family having to, to get those same things and the caseworkers trying to help them find those resources. It's difficult. I have children right now who I just found out I have to be on a 12-year waiting list or 20-year waiting list to get resources for them with certain disabilities. The caseworkers telling that to a biological family, trying to prevent removal or something, or to get children back in your home, that is difficult. They don't have resources. They would. I guarantee you those caseworkers would hand over everything they could to these families to be able to help them if they had them.
Yeah.
They just they're not available.
No, I completely agree. I met you probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and I remember one of the first events that, we did. And at that point I was on staff at a church, but we like came up and served a little bit for your caseworker Christmas, which I want you to talk a little bit about. But it like blew my mind. And so for those who are listening that aren't familiar with that, it's essentially, right, like you guys do toys and gifts and like clothes and jackets and all the things every Christmas for caseworkers to essentially show up like they register their kids in families, and then they show up, and then they go through the lines and they pick out.
They get to
toys
shop.
And stuff. They shop
get
for
to
the
shop
kids.
for their kids, and they know their kids. That's the whole thing where that, again, so many things changed for us after COVID. Yeah. Yes, it did. We had to come up with a new way to distribute the toys that year. And it started off with kinship. We said, hey, y'all come get toys. We have shelves full of toys.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. It was absolutely, the caseworkers, like watching them ride out on the bikes or something because their kid wants a bike, or watching them get so excited over a black truck, that my kid asked for a black truck and you have a black truck, or a basketball and not a football.
It's an element of like providing, what you guys are doing is you're providing dignity, not just to the families through, because you guys could serve the families directly, but what I love that's really unique about what you guys are doing is you're providing even dignity to the workers who want to serve the families. You're empowering the workers to serve their families.
It's so fun for them to be able to show up at the door for a family, not having them checking up on them on, are you doing this? Are you doing that? How are let me check the kids, interview the kids. You're bringing their gifts. Mm-hmm. You're bringing something fun for the parents. And then the parents get to choose where those gifts come from. It's not coming from CPS. It's not coming from Entrusted. It's coming from the parents to the children. The parents get that dignity too, to give them, because they're hidden. It's not like pre-wrapped presents and everything. They're hidden in a big like Santa bag.
Yep.
So
no, I love
they
it.
get to choose. But the caseworkers, they have so much fun. And that has grown. I think the first year we did it like that, there was 850 kids that we served. Last year, it was over 2,800 children.
Yeah. That's
and they
crazy.
each get 3 toys.
Yeah. No, I love that. And they're like legit toys.
Oh, very
new toys.
Listen, our community is incredible. And that comes from all over Harris County. We put out the big toy boxes, kind of like Toys for Tots does.
Yeah.
And they donate to us too. So we love Toys for Tots. But we put out the boxes, and then they fill them up, the companies or churches or whoever, individuals, they'll fill those up, and then we pick them up or they bring them to us. And yes, we are buried in toys for at least 2 months.
Yeah. No, I love it. Talk to me, if there is somebody listening to this, like what would you tell them that, like, what do you wish people knew about caseworkers, about CPS, like people who are just like doing that work? What would you want people to like really understand and really know?
Their number one goal is not to tear a family apart.
Yeah.
They're not there to take the children away. That is the last thing, the very last thing. I've never spoken with a caseworker that is the first thing on their mind is to take that child away. Ever. Never. I mean, obviously there are cases where it's necessary, for sure. But they still, even if it's necessary to remove that child right away, they still see what now is needed for that parent, for that biological family, what is needed to help them. Yeah. That's the first and foremost thing.
No, it's good. One thing, we kind of joked back and forth a little bit, like when you filled out, you're like nervous. You're like, what do I... No, when you filled out your form, like for the pre-interview stuff, for the podcast, you mentioned like a lot of people like ask questions about like, what can I do? How can I serve? What can my family do? And all those are really great questions, right?
They're great.
But you kind of joked in there and you're like, less questions, more like how to, like, just do it, right? And that is like Lisa Johnson to a T.
Just do
it. Just do it.
It's my family to a T. It's like, my husband's the same way.
It's embodied all the way through Entrusted. It is. It doesn't matter who walks up to the door. We're just going to do it. We're just going to serve it. Yep. Right? Talk to me about if there was somebody that was saying, hey, I want to get involved. I don't really know how to get involved in this space. What is, like, quote unquote, just doing it? Like, what does that look like? I
actually thought about 2 very important people to Entrusted, like 2 very important people. And one is, it's not all financial donations, but we do have one donor that has been there from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was April of 2018, but when we announced and everything, she started donating May of 2018. Yeah. And has been donating that same $50 every month. Yeah. Ever since. Yeah. It's never stopped. That is just something simple. Simple, something small that means so much. That means more to me. It's consistent. It means more to me than like the huge donations. Yes, those are great. Those are wonderful. But this is consistency. They're staying with us. I mean, this is 7 years now. Yeah. And the other, we have an amazing, I will throw her name out because she's a friend, Karen Lucas. She's with our church.
Yeah.
And her and her family, she brings her daughter, her husband, they all come together all the time and they will just drop off pull-ups. She heard one time I said, we have an incredible resource for our diapers. We partner with Baby to Baby. Amazing. They just donate, they deliver diapers and wipes and stuff to us on a quarterly basis right now. And that's wonderful. One thing that's not covered in there is pull-ups. Karen just, with her family, will show up every now and then, every couple of months, whatever, and bring us a whole boxes of pull-ups.
Yeah.
That's it. She just does, she doesn't ask. She just does it now.
Yeah, I love that.
That's amazing. Or she sees something that we post because we're very active on Instagram. Like if we have a need, we'll post it up on Instagram for sure. And she'll see there, and next thing you know, she'll be walking in the next week with that item.
Yeah, yeah. On that note, what are some of the gaps that you see needs more than most, right? That caseworkers are coming in, they're asking for different things, they're making requests, families are coming in, other organizations. We put in requests to you all.
Yeah.
What are you seeing consistently time and time again that, an item or a service that you're saying like, hey, this is a gap that we're noticing in the system or that families are needing or caseworkers are needing? What are you noticing kind of lately?
Lately, a lot of cribs and there's a lot of little ones, a lot of cribs and pack and plays, dressers. We just came up with like a smaller type dresser that we found on Amazon or Walmart or something that fits the need. Like instead of, because getting we used to rely on donated furniture that people were discarding. They're not wanting anymore, but there's not enough of those out there to fill the need. Yeah. Plus maybe the ones that people are giving away, there's a lot of big stuff. Everybody has like really big furniture and they're trying to get smaller.
Yeah.
These items don't fit in a lot of the homes that we go to. So we need smaller, like dining room tables, a small dinette set, things like that. But cleaning supplies all the time.
What to you is driving some of those needs? Like I remember, just to give you an example, one time I think you told me you were like, I have 18 dressers right now or something crazy, because you're getting so many needs for dressers.
Yes.
And we had talked about some of the standards in which these families have to have in their home. It requires a dresser in every room or something like that. So talk about
a dining table.
Yeah. What drives some of the needs that you see?
They're expensive.
Yeah.
They're just expensive. Furniture's expensive. We all know that. And they don't have the finances because they're busy feeding their children or clothing. Diapers are not covered. They can go in and get things like WIC, get formula, stuff they need, but finding a resource to get diapers, they don't have. We provide them, but we don't provide all of the diapers. They still have to be able to purchase those for their children. Just life in general, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And if you have a single mom with 4 children, childcare so you can work, it's finances.
On the same note, kind of similar question that I asked you about caseworkers, what do you wish people understood about families? There's this aspect of, I think from the outside perspective, it could be well, if they just worked more, or if they just did blank, right? Like this. And what do you wish people understood about the families that you interact with?
Oh my gosh. The families that come into our, because we do allow, that's one of the other things that's unique about us is the biological families can come in, and the families that we work with love their children. Mm-hmm. They love their children. They, it is a lot of times this is generational. It's learned things. They're so grateful. They're so grateful for what they get. It's a joy to see, and they want to help themselves. They ask, I can't count how many times the families have asked, how can we pay you back? Mm. Can we come and volunteer? Can we come and do something to help to, they want to say to earn what you're giving us. I'm like, well, that's not what you have. This is really one of the things. I'm like, you don't have to do that. For us, this is what the Lord has put on my heart. That's why we do what we do. Mm. You don't have to earn this. Just like you don't have to earn God's love, you don't have to earn these items. This is for you. Yeah. But they have come back. There are people that have come back and serve, or they'll bring back and donate the things that they have taken good care. They'll use the items, and then when the child outgrows it, they can bring back that, and then they kind of consider it as a trade-off. Here, I'm going to bring back this. Can I get the next size? Yeah,
it's kind of that concept, which I know is kind of cliche, but it's that paying it forward.
Yes, paying it forward. No, exactly.
We want to,
we do it. I did it.
Yeah.
I save clothes, pass them on to my friends, pass them on to families.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. Obviously, you have done this for a long time. You're a foster parent. You took in a respite kiddo last week. And I was like, you do so much. How do you stay...
A 9-week-old baby.
Yeah. Not... Maybe motivated's not the right word here, but like, how do you stay, for lack of better words, motivated, keep pushing forward? Like, what keeps you grounded? Like, how do you...
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I did think about this one because, so being the founder and executive director, and as we grow, I'm out of the resource center a lot now. Like I'm working from home, meetings, things like that. But I go into the resource center a lot, and I will try to jump in when Connie lets me. It's a well-oiled machine in there now, and to fill a need, to fill an order, for like go in there and to do the basic. I think it was the Uber CEO or something. I heard a long time ago, like he requires all of the people to go and drive one day a month or something to stay grounded and connected to where it is. Like that's kind of what I see it as. I'll go in there and I'll do the very basic thing, meeting that need, filling the bag,
it's important.
Going through the order. Mm-hmm. And that just helps keep me focused.
Yeah, no, I love it. It keeps you focused and grounded to the vision. Yeah, we say here at Riverside Project sometimes that you're never too big to pick up a broom.
Exactly.
And it's the same concept.
Respite care too, obviously, because you said you saw my post. Yes.
But I mean, like, even like, I love hopping in the box truck and driving furniture to a family for you guys, because it is grounding, right? Like we can get bogged down in the really important system work of like, we have meetings, we want to make connections in the city. Yeah. And it's all really important and it's vital to what we do. But I do think like putting kind of your hand to the plow a little bit, if you would, and kind of doing some of that work is really helpful. Cool. Last question, kind of as we wrap up, and then I kind of have like 5 quicker, more fun questions for you. But how have you seen collaboration, I guess, over the years, like since you've started Entrusted and been in this space? How important has collaboration been for you all, whether it's churches, organizations, etc.?
Extremely. I remember I did a foster care walk together for before the Together for Adoption conference in 2010.
Okay.
And I walked around with a girl. If you're listening, find me. I don't remember her name. I don't. But I remember we were talking about how this, there's no room for competition, only collaboration. And I like 100% believe that. So we work with all the organizations. Anybody that wants to work with us, I've had organizations when we started or when we're growing, I mean, you know this, like handing me over their board papers. Here, we're going to help you build your board, or or organizations that they might, like I said, serve different people, maybe focus on the foster families, adopted families. Maybe they don't need they're getting a massive amount of donations that they don't need. They're handing off things to us that we need because we are distributing so much more just in certain sizes or for certain. We share the resources we get. Like through Baby to Baby, we're able to give diapers to other organizations that are also serving families here. So we couldn't do it without collaboration. Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah, no.
I mean, this is it's the foster care system.
The needs are too big.
It's too big. We cannot do this alone.
Yeah.
We cannot.
No, I love it. Cool. Well, last kind of 5 quick questions for you. So a little bit just to kind of have fun, but also, it doesn't need a super long answer, but something kind of quick here. Okay. Number 1, what's the most used emoji in your text messages right now?
Smiley face.
Smile, just like the normal.
The no open mouth, just this closed mouth smiley face with the red cheeks.
I was going to ask you to show me with your face what the emoji was, so I'm glad. I like that you just automatically did it. Lisa Johnson, everybody. There you go. Second question. What's a totally kind of ordinary moment in your week that you secretly love?
Saying hi to all my friends at Buc-ee's.
Did you say at Buc-ee's?
My iced tea, yes.
At Buc-ee's?
Yes. Yep, I do. I'm in there every day getting my iced tea. I don't do the coffee spot. I get iced tea, and everybody who knows me knows I'm like, and I have to say hi to I know them all. I call them by name.
That is so funny. I love that. Okay, third question. If you could instantly master any hobby or skill, what would that be?
I didn't want to be selfish. I kept thinking of all of them, but no, honestly, the one, and my husband had to remind me, I can't believe that, speaking Spanish. I would love to just automatically be fluent in Spanish.
What did you say earlier? You're like, just do it, right? Is that
just do it. I know.
Just kidding.
Just do it.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I get it. I like it. Duolingo. There you go. Okay, number 4. What's a small, consistent practice that has made a big difference for you in this work?
It's the meeting the needs.
Like
for me,
jumping in and
doing it. I mean, getting in the box truck, and I do the same thing. I jump in the box truck and I drive it all over town now.
Yeah. No, it's good. A side question for that. So
yes,
we'll call it 5/6.
Okay.
Entrusted's name.
Ooh.
Where did that come from?
Entrusted's name. I had the wonderful experience years ago to sit in on Beth Moore's videotaping of her Entrusted study.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is when we were kind of moving over we were just a foster closet to a ministry. We were coming up with our ministry name.
Okay.
It was even before the nonprofit.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I was sitting in there, and it was on 2 Timothy, and just talking about being entrusted into what the Lord has given you. Mm. And I remember I was like sitting with my oldest child. My oldest daughter was there with me, and we were fostering at the time. And it just really hit me. Like, God is entrusting us with all these donations that we're getting, with the children that are coming into our home, with the finances that people are donating. We try to really, really honor what he's given us. And I remember thinking I had to ask Beth, is it okay if I use that name? And of course, they just laughed at me. Beth was like, what? But no, that's really what it was. And then in Houston, because it is Entrusted Houston, not just Entrusted, because this is my born and raised. Yeah. This is my space. It will always be Entrusted Houston.
Yeah. No, I love that. Okay, last question for you. What's one story, personal or from Entrusted Houston specifically, that kind of reminds you like, hey, this work really matters?
Wow. Every one of my kids' stories.
Oh, yeah.
Every one of my kids' stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, without getting into their stories specifically, but just seeing that need. I know what I was thinking about when I saw this question was their stories were so important. It was needed. And then I knew it wasn't going to be the end for me in foster care. Like when what people think that it's done and over with, like, oh, great, they're adopted, everything's over. There's more stories.
Yeah.
What story matters is like all the other ones that are out there that people don't know of. And that's why I knew when we were done fostering and adopting, like they said, you can't do this anymore. We reached that limit. I was like, well, I'm not done. So it just transitioned into this space, into Entrusted Houston, where it's like,
I love
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's another way to be a part of other people's stories.
Because, I love it. Jason Johnson, we all know him, but he always says the right thing. And that's what it was. We're not all called to foster adopt as we did, but we're all called to do something. We all.
Oh, that's good. Last thing before we kind of wrap it up, but how can people, connect to what you guys are doing, your work, maybe donate, things like that?
Absolutely. Well, we have our website and Instagram, of course. Those are great ways to find out what we're doing. Definitely check them out. Go follow us. We have a huge campaign that we're putting out soon, The Power of 100. I'm super, super excited about. The Lord put that on my heart several times, and then I've, put it back on the back burner for a second, and then he brought it back up again. I was like, okay, yes, we're doing this. So I'm actually super excited about it because it's, 100 individuals, churches, businesses partnering with us for $5,000 a year to meet all of our goals, to meet that budget, to be able to provide those needs, the millions of dollars in donations that we're sorting through every single day. It takes work. Yeah. Right now, there's just 3 of us.
Yeah, for sure. I know, doing a lot of work all across the city.
Doing a lot of work.
So entrustedhouston.org. So you can check them out there.
And Entrusted Houston on Instagram.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, Lisa, thank you so much. As always, it's great to chat with you. I feel like I even learned so much, even though I've known you for years. But thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks, Chandler.
To those listening, we hope these conversations have inspired you to find your place along the river. And we welcome you to join us in bringing hope and renewal to the city of Houston. If you'd like more information on how to get involved, please visit riversideproject.org and submit a contact form. We'll see you next time.